Hey guys, welcome back to NWCS. And after laying out all the holes for the egg holder, the next thing I need to do is come over to the drill press so I can start drilling them out. And what I decided to do is actually stack two of the different individual shelves on top of each other. So that way all I have to do is drill through one and I'm getting it marked on the second one. Right now I'm coming through with a smaller drill bit just to mark the centers for all the holes. And then I'm going to switch over to an 1¼ drill bit, Forstner bit, to actually hog out the rest of the waste. So again, by doing this pre-drill or a pilot hole with this drill bit, it actually allows me to actually find the center when I come back with the Forstner bit. I also have my fence lined up to where the drill bit is centered right on top of my line, so all I have to do is move pieces over from left to right and drill out all my holes. One of the reasons why I love having the drill press, I do need to update the fence. Currently, this is kind of okay, but I would like to actually do a longer one that I can split in two, that reconnect with magnets. And I also like to have a second knob on it, that way I can actually pitch it for different angles when I split the fence. Something I saw in another video that really inspired me, so definitely going to implement this over on this drill press. And also, after doing these first 3 or 4, I decided I should probably actually make a template, because all these are actually going to go to the egg holders, and if I ever decide to make more of them, I probably should break down a piece of like 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch plywood just to get all these holes laid out the same. So that's something I'm going to do over in the next portion of the video. I already have the plywood ripped down behind me, but probably shortly after this, I believe this piece, you guys will actually see a little 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch piece of plywood slip underneath. And that's it right here. So now I'm actually just going to pre-drill all these holes through the piece that I already have drilled out, and just kind of use that piece on top to lay out the markings for the ones below. Then those will become my permanent templates. I'm doing 2 for one reason, because I have one that is set up that I'm going to only drill this pilot hole through. Then the other one I'm actually going to take and come back with the full Forstner bit, so that way I have a template for if I want to route it or if I just want to drill all the holes like I'm doing here. Gives me the flexibility and the options, and I can tell you guys the honest truth, I don't know where that template is today. But a good thing is it's probably somewhere inside the shop, probably inside one of my scrap bins. And I do need to make more templates for projects like this to make them easier to repeat in case I ever have a client that wants more. Also though, now that I'm switching out for this 1¼ drill bit, I'm not going to go through 2 pieces at the same time, just because, no need to do that. Forstner bits, you typically want to run slow and at low speeds. I don't change the speeds on my belt, but I do take the passes as I go through the material nice and slow. And this also reveals one thing that I definitely need to do for this drill press, and that is some kind of dust collection. I know they do carry those rigid hoses that actually you can kind of position or articulate right over your workpiece. That's probably going to be what I'm looking forward to get. I do want to actually somehow have some dust collection coming up through the underside of this table that I built. That's going to be another side project, but I would like to be able to, keep this as clean as possible. That's one of the things I actually hate about the drill press that I am just now coming to realize the pain in the ass in. And as you saw there, I did making a quick attempt to try to, see if I can fish it somewhere or leave it somewhere just to kind of catch the majority of the chips. But I kind of settled with just leaving the vacuum running and pulling the holes over to clean off the table after every couple holes. But this process again is pretty repetitive. They're already drilled and found for the center, being with that pallet bit. So now I just have to come back through and plunge with this 1¼ bit for all the pieces. The fence is still in the same position. So really I'm just kind of positioning it left and right to make sure that the center of this Forstner bit is going to hit where I have my pre-drilled holes at. And then rinse and repeat until I have all these done. The next thing you guys want to see me do in this video is actually go into the glue up for these individual egg holders. The last thing that you guys aren't going to see me do though is all the routing and sanding and the finishing process. But once you guys see them all assembled and glued together, you guys will have a gist of how these are going to work. And I think they're pretty awesome. So I'm going to catch it back up to you guys once we get all these drilled out and we get ready for the assembly. And now for the assembly process. This is actually a really easy one. Probably one of my favorite glue ups because it's really simple. But I do miss one thing that I probably should have done. I did not do. These are all things that I'm definitely learning. I should have actually built these as initially 2-tier systems. That way, by having 2 shelves in this glue up, the sides maintain themselves as already square. Because doing it like this, I have to actually come back with a square and make sure they're square to the shelf on each individual glue up and make sure my clamps are applied right at the shelf mortars, or I run the risk of actually tipping or having these kind of cockeyed. If I did this in a 2-tier system, the 2 shelves would have actually squared up the side panels and they still could have been stackable. There would have been 2 tiers per stack. But again, somebody didn't think about. I figured, hey, make them all individual sections. And these are all the things that I learned after going through builds like this. Ways to make it a lot easier for myself in the future. Definitely gonna be something I keep in my back pocket. But if you guys have enjoyed this though, definitely let me know down in the comments. Leave me a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.